Dean Martin, the King of Cool, was a singer and actor who would rise like the sun and gain worldwide fame and fortune. Martin was born Dino Paul Cressetti on the 7th of June 1917 in Steubenville, Ohio, to an Italian father and Italian-American mother. Martin would begin a career as a boxer, calling himself Kid Crochet at 15, having 12 fights. When speaking on his fighting record, Martin would say, "I won all but 11. Martin would then work at an illegal casino situated behind a tobacco shop as a roulette, stickman and croupier. Martin would also sing with local bands around town. Martin's breakthrough would come when he sang with the Ernie Mackay Orchestra. He would perform in the crooner style. In 1940, he was performing for Sammy Watkins, a band leader from Cleveland. It was Watkins that suggested that Martin change his name from Dino Martini, his stage name at the time, to Dean Martin. Martin would be drafted into the American Army during World War II. However, he would only serve in the Army for 14 months before being discharged due to a hernia. Martin wanted to perform in movies. However, he was unable to find work. It was a chance meeting with Jerry Lewis at the Belmont Plaza Hotel, where, according to Lewis, Martin went up to him and said, "Hey, I saw your act. You're a funny kid." The pair would soon become friends and would participate in each other's acts. Their debut performance was at the 500 Club in Atlantic City. However, the performance was not well received, with the owner stating, "If you don't come up with something better for your next performance, you're fired." With their next performance coming later that night, the pair huddled behind the club discussing what to do and decided it was all or nothing. Therefore, they decided to perform songs and skits along with ad-libbed material. Martin would be the straight guy, trying to put on a performance, while Lewis would be dressed as a busboy, messing with the performance and angering Martin, until Martin had to chase him off stage. The performance would lead to rounds of applause from the audience and would lead to many well-paid gigs. They would appear on The Ed Sullivan Show. Realising this was their chance to make it big, they hired writers Norman Lear and Ed Simmons. It was the decision to hire writers that they were able to leave the nightclubs behind. A radio series followed in 1979. The pair would appear in 19 films between 1949 and 1956. After both men grew tired of each other and making the same formulaic films, they would part ways 10 years to the day that they started out together. Martin would continue to make films over the coming decades, amassing 66 credits in all. Away from the silver screen, Martin was making a name for himself as a solo singer and would become friends with Frank Sinatra. Sinatra, Sammy Davis Jr., Joey Bishop and Peter Lawford. Though the group never referred to themselves as the Rat Pack. However, when many people think of the Rat Pack, they mainly think of the three singers Martin, Sinatra and Davis Jr. The trio would be cemented and celebrated for their performances in Las Vegas, which would consist of songs and jokes surrounding Martin's drinking, Sinatra's womanizing and Davis's race and religion. Martin and Sinatra would not play to venues where black people were not welcome. Casinos made a lot of money when the Rat Pack were in town, as many people wanted to see the three perform. Dean Martin had his own TV show that ran between 1965 and 1974. Martin would continue to record music. In 1993, Martin was diagnosed with lung cancer. Martin would pass away on Christmas Day at his Beverly Hills home. As a mark of honour for his contributions to the popularity of Vegas, the lights were dimmed. Dean Martin, as both a singer, performer and actor, has left a legacy that only the best can match and none can surpass, and his mark on the world will never be forgotten.